Hello, gentlemen. We're here tonight to talk about a controversial topic that is the effect of video games on children, on kids. So we will discussing in a few moments the impact of video games, whether it is positive or negative on kids. And we will have and today we have the guest Fabian Iniesta, who is a professional gamer and who will try to defend the posture of why video games are good, and Marco Redondo, who is the father of two children, who is actually against the use of video games because he considers all video games are violent and can actually be harmful for the kids. I will be the moderator today. I am I'm professor from the University of Oxford, and I'm trying to moderate this session. So today we will be starting with Marco. Marco, do you have any points to defend your arguments?
Thank you, Mr. Jorge. Um, I think violence in video games is in fact a real problem in America right now. Let me tell you something. Here says in this article that I have here that 90% of the parents are present when their children purchase a video game, and still
Ninety
they don't do
percent.
anything.
90%.
90%.
All right.
And they still buy them games with an M rating that contain either violence, sex, or drug abuse. Like, tell me, tell me.
Okay, so you're saying that basically uh, parents are aware that of what the children are buying, and
Exactly,
despite of this, they are buying the video games.
exactly, sir.
Okay, so Fabian, do you have any points to say about what Marco has just mentioned?
Yes. Well, actually, it's more a thing that the fathers have to know about what the video game is about, because the kids just said to the parents, "Oh, can I buy this?" So they should say, "Okay, yes," or sometimes no. But the children depend on the fathers money, but sometimes the father didn't give the money and they have to buy it, and the children can't be alone, so fathers go with them, and that's why 90% of fathers are with them. But in this case, it's more about misinformation. The parents didn't know about what's the game, doesn't know about which is the range of age that the kids should have to play the video game. They don't know if they have violence, drugs, and sex. So parents should know what's about the video game, and then they should think about if they should buy it or not.
Okay,
That's more a thing about them to think.
okay, so I see what both of you are saying, that video games are sold to minors because of misinformation. But we're implying that all video games are violent, and that's not the truth. However, it exists a variety of video games that can actually help the children to develop. We can see that video games can actually improve the eye and hand coordination, the social abilities of the kids, and another parts of that are important to the development of the kid. So in this case, we can see that not all of the video games are meant to be violent, and some of them are meant to be educational. So what do you have to say about the educational video games that are also present on the market, Marco?
Well, yes, there is some type of educational video games, like you said, but it's the minority. Like mostly, like 70% of the games in the market right now, and the games that kids of all ages are playing in our nation are strictly pure violence, guns, um, sex, like GTA 5 and Call of Duty are one of the most sold video games in history, and like they are the epitome of violence. So
Okay. Okay. So,
um,
so you're saying that basically popular video games are the ones that contain violence and drugs and sex
exactly.
abuse. Oh, that's an
Yes.
interesting point. But what about the social side of the situation? What are the abilities that the the video games promote, Fabian?
Okay, the ability of the games promote to the children is like they motivate them to be more social, to be more open to the real world and more open to other people. So they should express how they feel. Also, the video games saw enriches the ability of logic, deduction, and reasoning because the puzzles they can't call the puzzles in the video games, and there are some things that make them more open to other things, like the either educational video games as the Minecraft Scholar Edition or the new Animal Crossing that makes the children know about house life,
Do you
how
have
they
any?
have to force or how to they have to win the things with effort and with concentration, logic, and things that they should learn from other things.
Do you?
So these also make them like going outside, trying to make their things, like trying to live what they're living in video games.
Do you have any experiences making friends online while playing video games?
Yes, some of my best friends I met them from video games, or others makes me some video games makes me more approach to other people. Like, oh, you have this video game in common. Oh, let's play. So you have more things to do. You're not close to a single stuff or a single thing.
So we actually have the valuable perspective of Fabian that says that video games make people more social, and we can see that that is a reality. Uh, and when we measure it against the violence that video games actually promote, there is a not a real comparison. There's, we can see that video games actually promote more social behaviors inside kids than violent behaviors. So, do you have anything to say about these these characteristics, Mark?
But Mr. Fabian and Mr. Jorge, I have something to say to you. Like these social experiences are also one of the main problems of video games. Some studies have found that competition amongst the players in video games are one of the main factors of aggressive behavior in children. So we have this problem too. How are we gonna fix this?
I know that you mentioned it. We have to also take into consideration that video games can actually be the door for many people to access. For example, we can have a 5 year old chatting with with some older guy who is 50 years older. So we can have we can see a potential risk inside video games that is not totally positive. But what we can see here is that while children can actually learn positive or negative behaviors, it is upon the parents to control the situation. Like you have to control what your child is going to see, what your child is playing, who is he chatting with, to actually try to control the situation. Because if not, who is going the one who is going to be the one who's going to save him?
In this case that Marco previously mentioned, there are some regulations about that. Parents can know what his children is talking to, like they can make this then in Xbox already. You can make that the voice chat and text chat is enabled, and there's some type of video games more like to be for children that are cooperative, that they doesn't have to make competition between each other. They have to collaborate, and this should be something good because they're making and they're teaching children to work with other and try to be joined so they can win or they can get something.
So we have a
But
global
let
perspective.
me ask
Yes.
you, Fabian,
Yes.
do parents really care about what their kids are playing?
And I
Are
think
they
that's the
really,
most important point of
let
discussion.
me speak, please. Are they really aware of the situation of their kids while playing video games? I don't think
No,
so, sir.
they're not aware, but they should. It's a responsibility to them. And if they don't do that, that's not a problem of the kids. They should just try to entertain themselves.
So I think
Well,
we're actually
how,
unveiling the situation here, the real problem of the situation. It is not the children who are the responsibles for what is happening to them, but the parents. We can see that the parents are the one who make the children adopt violent behaviors.
how are
So
you gonna educate the parents then?
So I believe that it is important to make conscience about this problem. We're making this program to raise conscience about video games. And I think by making this, by talking about the potential negative and good sides of video games, we can actually control the problem. If we try to communicate this information and spread it with other people, we will try to solve the problem. We can actually take the first step towards solving this problem.
But people don't listen. That's a
Well,
problem.
well,
They don't listen.
I believe that is a gradual change. However, we can actually see that the problem are the parents in this sense, and we have to control and make more information available to raise awareness. Thank you for your participation on this program today. I think we unveiled many truths today, and we tried to raise awareness about the negative and the positive side of video games. However, we can conclude that it is the responsibility of the parents to control what the kids are saying, not only on video games but in life in general. And they should be active. They should take an active part of the children's life. Thank you for your participation, Mr. Marco Redondo and Mr. Fabian Iniesta. It was an honor to have you, both of you, on this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Um,
too.
it is all for today. Thank you.
Thank
Goodbye.
you. Bye.
Goodbye.
No.